Hey guys, what's up? You can definitely relate to this. You walk into a restaurant, and what's the first thing that a waiter does? Pours you a glass of water, which is only half full. You ask for some more water, and he's again going to fill it only halfway there. You see, this is a model called Glass Half Full that was implemented, endorsed by an organization called Why Waste. Plenty of restaurants across our country have gotten on board with this concept to save water. I'm in conversation with the Water Girl, the CEO and founder of Why Waste, Garvita Gulhati. Let's go.
Why Waste? It's India's largest youth led movement working towards water conservation. And you were only 15 when you started seeking for answers. Talk to me about how it all began and how Why Waste came to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Sriram, when I was 15, I think I was like 10th or 11th grade in high school, basically. And I was at that point listening to a lot of information about the water crisis in our country. It was the year 2015, and India had one of the worst drought crises. And I was reading about, farmers taking their lives because they did not have proper irrigation. I was reading about children who were, and women and specifically women and children who were walking miles just to get a little bit of water. And most of the times that water was also contaminated and not healthy for them to consume. And more than all of this, I was actually seeing it. So I used to live slightly on the outskirts of Bangalore, so not that outskirts also, but I was living on Sarjapur Road, and that was kind of outskirts almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
More than that actually. And I was actually seeing these things because there was like this village behind the area that we lived, and I was seeing these women walking miles to get water which we consumed without even moving a finger. And I just kept on reading more and more about it, and I fell like really deep into this theme, but I didn't know what to do. I wanted to do something about it. And very incidentally, the same year on World Environment Day, so it was June 5th, 2015, our environment education teacher, she always tried to do these nice awareness programs. And that year she did this very interesting thing where she shared information about various issues with us. And one of the slides or something like that, you could say, was it said very simply 14 million liters of water is wasted every year simply in the water that we leave behind in glasses at restaurants. And that moved me because I was already reading so much about it, and then I realized how trivially we waste water, and there are people who don't even have the access to it, and they're losing their life because of it. And we don't value it at all. So I thought maybe this would be a good place to start. Maybe change the way that restaurants think,
Yeah.
the way consumers and customers consume the resource,
Yeah.
and maybe from there move ahead to see what can happen next.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to you for thinking of a concept which is so out there. I mean, it's right in front of us. It was just a matter of us observing that, yes, so much of water is being wasted. Now, let's talk about your initiative of half glass full. Such a simple concept, so effective at the same time. So, tell me how exactly it works when you go to a restaurant. A waiter is conscious, he's aware, and he's going to probably pour you just a half glass full of water in that glass.
Yeah.
And he's going to curtail himself from wasting water. And so many restaurants have actually gotten on board with this concept of yours all across India. Wow, you literally have moved mountains with this.
Thank you so much, Sriram, for putting it that way. I feel pretty cool about myself.
No, it is. It's so simple yet effective, and I'm glad that we've started thinking in this direction. If it took a teenager to point it out.
Thank you, Sriram. And just to tell you about how it happened. So when I figured out this and I wanted to make the change, my first instinct was, okay, let's go talk to these restaurants. I was not following any particular method of building an initiative or anything, because back then it wasn't even that it wasn't even something that a lot of people did. So it was really like being out in the wild on your own, which was also kind of fun because I learned so much on the way. So I went to restaurants, I started talking to these managers and waiters and hearing from them, like, and telling them, giving them ideas to, kind of save water. So I said, keep a jug on the table or ask the customers before pouring water. And all of them pretty much failed. All of these ideas failed because the restaurant industry is a hospitality industry and they have certain norms they need to follow. And having the glass full was actually a way of rating restaurants, which we managed to get changed. And it's no longer something that a restaurant is graded upon. So whenever you go to a restaurant, you would notice that waiters always pour the glasses. You might be busy in your conversations, but your glass is always full. So that was becoming a huge problem. And a lot of waiters and managers and restaurants didn't even want to listen because they were like, why should we take advice from a 15-year-old? And then beyond that, I was also kind of trying to struggle to fit it all in with like my studies, because my teachers and everyone else was just like, this is the time you need to focus on your education, get a good degree, and then do whatever you want. But I said the problem is not going to wait for me to graduate from college, from school or college or whatever. So I need to act now. And so anyways, 6 months passed. I visited more than like 50 restaurants on my own with some friends over the weekends when we had some free time. And then I kind of started to think, what can I do, or what can I create to help this actually work out? And I had to do something that allowed me, that made me happy, the waiters happy, the restaurants happy, and the customers happy. And that's when I came up with the idea of glass half full, where you fill the glass only half instead of filling it full. And that way the customers take only as much as they need, they don't waste. There is some kind of concept around this so that the customers will actually ask the waiters, okay, what is this? Why are you filling my glass only half? Because if it was any other way, they wouldn't really be curious about it. And more than anything, it's about being more optimistic about the resource, seeing the glass half full instead of seeing it half empty, the whole optimistic mindset thing. And finally, the biggest change that we've seen is that people realize that taking only as much as they need and not wasting is a way of life, just because of this small concept.
True. And I must say the plan is ingenious, and rightfully so. You have been lauded. You've been handed out plenty of awards as well. Congratulations, Garvita. There have been plenty of concepts that have come and gone in terms of water conservation. Not too long ago, there was something called the half bucket challenge, where people were asked to take a bath with just half a bucket of water and see how that goes. Plenty of resident welfare organizations managed saving quite some amount of water with this. What are some basic practical points that one can probably start implementing to be conscious and to start saving water?
Yeah. So Sriram, the first thing that, when you wake up, what is the first thing that you do? You either drink water or you go to the washroom to use water. So the first thing that you need to learn is and appreciate about this resource is the fact that you use it from the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep. And that's just how vital it is in your life. And once you start appreciating the resource, you will start conserving it. So that's definitely the first step. But of course, there's a lot of practices that you can put. So if I go, for example, to brush my teeth, a lot of people now have started turning off their taps while brushing their teeth, which is great. But, even when you gargle, you don't really need to have the tap running. All you need is just a glass of water or half a glass of water. And that's actually more than enough. Then again, taking a shower is really what you need, then try and cut your shower short and then slowly move on to taking a bath with a bucket. Make the change gradual and don't do it all of a sudden, because then you're not going to stick with the change. It's not going to be prolonged. And then, another very interesting thing, especially in India, is because we use a lot of water filters. Water filters waste a lot of water. And it's almost in the ratio of 1 liter to like 4 to 6 liters that gets wasted. So collect that water and reuse it for something else. It can be used for gardening. It can be used for cleaning your cars. It can be used for sweeping your house. There's so many ways in which you can just simply use that. Try and do rainwater harvesting. I mean, it is the easiest way. to conserve this resource. And a lot of houses, a lot of apartments can install these systems very easily. One of the biggest problems that we face as a world, in fact, is the fact that we've concretized the entire ground. So there's no water seeping back into the earth. And India has dug 22 million bore wells already, in comparison to China that has dug 2 million, and the United States that has dug 1 million. So we actually have probably the highest amount of bore wells dug in our country. And another astonishing fact is that most of these are now empty. And this is primarily because we are not replenishing the water to the ground. So, if we as citizens can take that, step, and Bangalore is an amazing city in terms of citizens' action. I absolutely love how enthusiastic all of us are to, step out and make a change. So I think it's definitely possible.
I mean, come on, if China fares better in terms of water conservation, we need to, and I'm sure we will with a vengeance, do the right thing here. And, water scarcity is as real as it can get. Not too long ago, Bangalore was on the list of cities that are running dry, along with Cape Town in South Africa. And the amount of water trucks that we see plying across the city is a testament to itself. You'll just see water trucks going from apartment to apartment 24 hours, just replenishing water. And that's the amount of water we consume. So we need to be mindful about it. We see so many high rises coming in and around Bangalore city, all across the place. Where exactly is the water coming from? So we need to at least have that basic curiosity to go about saving it and to treasure it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Garvita,
I think something very wonderful that you mentioned is, the number of high rises coming up, which means our population is also increasing, which means we're consuming even more. And there's this really cool concept. It's not cool, but it's a really cool way to appreciate water. It's called virtual water. And virtual water it's also called hidden water. So it's about talking about how there is water in everything that we consume. For example, a burger has about 700 liters of water. Your t-shirt that we're wearing now is probably 1,000 liters of water. A pair of jeans is 2,000 liters of water. Your car is 30,000 liters of water. So as human beings, we can just simply save so many of these resources by reducing the whole consumerism mindset, by being a lot more positive towards, and it's simple. Take only the things that you need, and don't waste, and reuse. Even if you want to, go beyond, be a little luxurious, just reuse, ensure you give back, don't waste it, and simply dump everything.
Why waste? I mean, living true and staying true to the statement and the name of the organization as well. Why waste? Garvita, if anyone wants to support, if anyone wants to volunteer with Why Waste, how exactly can they go about doing so? Kudos and a big shout out to all your team members, because they've backed you up and they truly support this vision, and they have done about their part as well. But how exactly can more and more people be aware and be part of the cause?
Yeah, so something very beautiful about Why Waste is we aren't very restrictive about who comes in and joins us. We're very open. You can be anyone, any age. We've had people of the age of 10 to the age of 60 volunteer with us. And, the idea is just to be able to give back and save water and tell people how to save water in whatever ways you can. So we have a bunch of these modules online that you can use to help, teach people this. We have these something called the DIY modules, which allows you to create a version of Why Waste in your own city. So we've pretty much kind of outsourced our idea for free on our website, and anyone can come out there, visit it. It's www.whywaste.io, and you can go out there, pick it up, and then reach back to us if you have any questions. You can write to us, and anyone who really wants to come work directly with us on the core team, you can just write to us on contact@whywaste.io or reach out to us on our Instagram page or any social media page, in fact, and someone from the team will definitely respond to you, and we will hear you out, and we will ensure that you get to share your talents and what you're best at to help our vision grow.
Fabulous. What exactly is in the pipeline for Why Waste, and is there a particular project that you guys are looking at the moment?
Yes, so we have two very big projects coming up. So we just finished up with Hope Schooling, which was our kind of summer COVID thing. And before that, of course, there was a lot of work around restaurants, and we were running this challenge called the Urban Water Challenge, which is focused on students who come from rural areas or urban underprivileged areas. You could say mostly you can say students who come from government schools or low-income private schools. And the reason we ran that is because we realized they don't have as many opportunities as we have. And so we brought to them ways in which they can protect their communities and help them save water by helping them amplify their ideas. However, those are kind of on a pause right now. We're trying to see how we can bring them back. The two big things that we're working on right now is we're actually launching a book. It's called The Sustainability Stories. And I announced it about a month ago, and it's going to be published really soon. And these are a collection of fables. So there are 14 stories for young kids. And the idea behind them is, so when we were kids, we would read all of these stories which had morals, that taught us to, be truthful, be kind, be helpful. These stories are, again, very similar, with the animal characters and the fun language, but it's all about being more sustainable, being more water positive, and being the change that you wish to see in the world. So we just don't stop at sustainability, but we tell these young kids that they are the ones and they can also make a difference, and their voice matters. And that's what resonates through these stories. And the beauty of them is that they aren't complicated. They're really simple, but everyone who's read it till now has absolutely, loved it. Parents are enjoying it as well. So that book is very soon to come out. It's written by 4 different authors, and it's illustrated by 2 illustrators, really wonderful people that we were able to find, and all young people. Everyone who's created this book is between, you could say, 16 to 21 years old.
Wow.
And it's for young people. So that's,
So
the really
beautiful.
fun part of the book. And the second thing that we're coming up with, this should be out in about 2 months, is an app that's going to help you conserve water every single day in a very simple way. You just need to spend 5 minutes or even less on it every day. Maybe the first day, when you install and set up, you'll spend about 5 minutes. And after that, it's just going to do the work for you. And it's, of course, there's some amount of work that you need to do, but it's really less. And it's just this very simple, holistic, step-by-step way in which you can conserve more than 100 liters of water every single day by simply changing your habits, and we'll guide you through it. So we're very excited about that as well. And hopefully we can bring that to everyone as soon as possible.
That's beautiful. These little books will go on to make such a huge difference, and you want every single people who start out reading books, and I see making it as simple as possible, involving animals, so that storybooks, these are things you inculcate at a grassroots level. And I love how you've been able to reach out to that and the grown-up section of the society through apps as well. Job well done. I came to know so much about you. I mean, this conversation has truly brought out so many interesting facts. It blows my mind, and kudos, Garvita. I'm so happy that we could have this conversation. To begin with, baby steps, if we are to inculcate one little habit, what would that be? What would we start with right away?
Well, the simplest thing that you can start with is to stop taking showers. If you're already taking bucket baths, then that's wonderful. The other thing which I've actually seen that not many people do is what I mentioned earlier about, the water while brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Just take a glass of water instead. And finally, the last thing that I would urge everyone to do, last 2 things actually. One is try and conserve and share this, message of water conservation, because, it fascinates me that we are the largest youth-led organization in the country, who's working towards water conservation, because we aren't even that large. So that just really means that how less there is awareness about this particular issue. Of course, being in Bangalore, since we see it, we know a lot more about it. But if you go to cities outside, there really isn't much. In fact, when the Chennai water crisis also happened, we had a team on ground who went home to home and helped people conserve water every single day. So, that's just how less people know about it. So talk about it, have conversations about it. And finally, the last small, simplest thing you can do every single day is, at the end of the day, ask yourself, how much water was I able to save today? And that practice is just going to help you save a lot more water every day.
Garvita, Gulhati, why waste? What an amazing concept, and I'm so very happy that you have gone on to diversify into so many different ways, which is the need of the hour. The world is speaking out, and we definitely are feeling the brunt. Right now would be a great time to at least begin to start paying back, paying forward.
Yeah.
Why waste? What a fabulous concept. Congratulations once again. And we look forward to supporting
Thank
you.
you.
We'll hold on to every little thing that you've said, and let's try to be more responsible, more conscious, and let's conserve water. To recycling, it's the answers are right there. We see it right in front of us. It's just a matter of inculcating, taking that one extra step. Thank you so much, Garvita. You enjoy being a teenager. You're multi-talented like that, though. You are also a Kathak dancer. You take interest in dancing. What are some of your other hobbies?
I love to do. I don't exactly. I used to paint, but now I'm more into pen and ink art. I absolutely love it. It's just two colors, black and white, and I love to create using just a single pen and a paper. And also quite fond of calligraphy. So I've been writing for a long time. I've been almost 10 years since I've been writing, and that, and then I love to swim. So
that's beautiful.
That's
a water baby like that. I love what you said about how school is, well, some of them actually said your academics, you need to concentrate on this. And you said that these problems aren't going to wait. So I need to address it one way or another. Sometimes do you get, so what do you want to be when you grow up now?
I don't really know, but I just want to, at every step of what I'm trying to do, just ensure that I'm able to give back and make an impact. I want to be able to, one of my really larger goals is, so I was really studying more deeper into this whole sustainability concept. When did climate change start, and why is there so much of a problem around it? And I realized it really dates back to the Industrial Revolution, when we brought in, this whole manufacturing concept, companies, corporates, businesses, and that kind of is a huge reason why we face all of these climate issues. And so I really want to be able to help every business, every corporate, every industry become as sustainable as they possibly can be. I think it's possible, and I believe that it can happen. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but that's something that I really want to do. And beyond that, I've actually been studying all of the problems that have happened right now. And 2020 being 2020, we faced like everything. From the Australian fires to reading about gender inequalities and racial inequalities, and a pandemic, which is like a global health crisis. You realize that the reason why all of these problems actually exist in our world is because of this notion that we as human beings are more superior than others. And not just we as human beings, but in general, that's how our mindset has been built. We always think that we are better, we can be better, we want to be better. There are definitely ways of being better, and that's the whole point of, being alive, is to get better, but it cannot come at the cost of someone else's life or something else, degrading. It's same for, when we talk about animal rights. I missed out that point. So, just getting that notion in people's head, that empathy, and that idea that, we need to grow sustainably. Sustainability is not just about the environment or the planet. It's about everything. It's about being able to live in harmony with everything, that every life and living thing that is around us. And so that's also a message that I want to spread. And I, again, don't know how I'm going to do it, but like opportunities that
I'm sure you'll find a way. I'm sure
talking
you'll
about it,
find
and
a
I'll
way.
find a way.
Coexistence more than anything, and not we above everything else.
Yeah.
A simple message for us to conclude this. Garvita, thank you so much. See you soon. I'm going to leave details in the description below about how one can reach you. I look forward to catching up with you once this whole pandemic and the lockdown and everything is done. We need to catch up and definitely in every way possible support and inculcate these habits that we've spoken about. Thanks once again. You enjoy the rest
Thank
of
you
the day.
so much,
All right.
Sriram. Thank
Take care.
you.
Bye.
You too. Bye.